Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I hope everybody had a happy and safe holiday season. This is the first video that I am sitting down to record since around the middle of December. So the last few videos that went live on my channel were things that were pre-recorded and just scheduled to go live. This is the first video that I've actually worked on in the last couple of weeks, and it kind of feels weird. This is actually like the third or fourth time I've tried to start this video, but what I'm going to show here are just some of the items that I've added to or have been added to my various collections over the holidays, be it review items that were sent to me, or some things that I picked up myself, or some things that were just given as gifts. And there's some really interesting stuff here, at least I think so. So we're going to get right into them. I'm actually going to start with the items that were sent to me by Paizo for review. And these were kind of unexpected. I knew that they were sort of on their way, but they were actually delivered without the mail carrier actually ringing our apartment's intercom system, which is connected to my cell phone. And it does work. Like if I'm, an hour and a half away from home and somebody rings the buzzer, it connects to the cell phone. So I've actually gotten calls that I've opened up, the doors for people to come in and stuff like that. So I didn't get that, and I'm hoping that I didn't miss any other parcels or deliveries or anything like that. I had an item ordered from DM's Guild, the print-on-demand service, which don't expect would have arrived over the course of that week or so that we were away. But I am a little concerned now because the fact that they didn't ring the intercom at all and just left the parcel in front of the apartment door. If it was sitting there for days, then there's a chance that it could have grown legs, but we'll see. I'm holding out hope. If I don't get it within the next, by the end of January, then I will just contact and have the stuff resent. But anyway, so yeah, let's start with the stuff from Paizo. And one of the first things I want to show you is actually kind of neat. So the way that Paizo does their review copies, they actually set you up with subscriptions. So instead of an individual having to arrange items for order every single month, they just have an automated system for subscription services that customers can also sign up for. Where you can basically, like, if you want to get all like the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rulebooks, then there's a subscription service for that, and you can just keep a running subscription, or you can cancel it at any time if you're just looking for a specific book. But yeah, it's a really cool thing that they do, and when they package their orders, they usually include something a little bit extra, and normally they've been cards for the Pathfinder Adventure card game. So there's a few that I have, including like one called Vomit Twin, which is kind of gross looking but awesome. But this time around, they actually sent out what looks like a promo mini or preview mini for the Pathfinder battles. So these would be like the WizKids. These would be like the plastic pre-painted randomized booster packs that you can get with I think it's 4 miniatures in them. But this is a lava lurker, which is really cool. So actually, just a free mini included. So I thought that was kind of neat. In addition to that, we also received the Pathfinder flip mat for the Swamp Ruins. And again, when it comes to the maps, I'll take advantage of this opportunity for people watching this video. Just sort of ask, what you want me to do with some of these maps, because generally speaking, I love the flip mats. I think they're a great accessory. I always end up recommending them. So I guess the question is, do you want me to continue to do like full-on reviews of every single map that comes out? Or are you okay with me just showcasing it in like a product showcase video, or even in the pickup videos, or usually both, and just kind of give you an idea of what it is? So here we got this Swamp Ruins, which looks really, really cool. And they're always double-sided. And yeah, this one actually looks really nice. I like it. So you have what looks like a ruined village and maybe like a ruined keep for the two maps there. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. I'm trying to slowly reclaim the table that I do these reviews on so that I have enough room to open the maps up. That's kind of been an issue leading into the holidays and even at times before that. So just let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see like full review videos of the flip mats as they come out? Or do you prefer just being made aware that they're out there and just showing you in like a product showcase video as well as a pickup video what you can expect by like just showing the images of the maps here, because what's on the back here is exactly what's on both sides of the map, and it's a little bit easier to digest, I guess, when it's all you know, in one frame there. But yeah, let me know, and I will be happy to take that in consideration. All right, so another thing that was actually sent were 2 Adventure Path installments. And generally speaking, when it comes to like their Adventure Path installments, because they are soft-covered books, what they'll usually do is actually put them in this you know, blank cardstock envelope. So here we've got the Pathfinder. This one I'm really looking forward to. So this is the Ghost King's Rage, which is the 6th installment of the Bloodlords Adventure Path. So I will be doing a review video of the Adventure Path, and it's basically taking all 6 installments into consideration, and that's something that will probably be coming out a little bit closer to the end of January, but I'm really happy to have that here. I think that's awesome. And then we also have Drift Hacker's Adventure Path, A Light in the Dark, and this is the beginning of a 3-part campaign path or adventure path for the Starfinder role-playing game. So really, really cool stuff here. So we got those. And then finally, the last item that was in that box, this is one that, again, I'm really excited about, but I'm almost worried about doing a full video on, and I'll explain here in a moment. But what we have are some battle cards, and not just any battle cards, but the Abomination Vaults Adventure Path battle cards. So the Abomination Vaults was a 3-part campaign adventure path, or campaign arc, whatever you want to refer to them as, which is kind of this like really cool dungeon crawl type of adventure. And it's got all manner of like bizarre creatures. Essentially, there was this evil individual who was collecting these abominations, hoping to kind of turn them into like his own personal army before the individual was basically disposed of or passed away. And the abominations just, you know, they continue to thrive and start creating their own, like, you know, breeding amongst themselves and creating even more bizarre creatures. So it's a really cool adventure path. I do have the hardcover compilation book, and they are also going to be releasing this for 5th edition using the Open Gaming license. So I'm hoping to get that as well. When it comes to like the hardcover compilation books, I'll usually pick those up on my own. So I do have the Abomination Vaults book. I also picked up the Starfinder Dead Sons Adventure Path compilation, and I absolutely plan on getting the Abomination Vaults for 5th edition when it comes out, which I think is in a couple of months. I think it's March of 2023. But yeah, so here we got the battle cards, and these are the creature stats for all of the unique creatures that are presented in that adventure path. And the only reason I'm a little bit cautious about doing a full like unboxing and flipping through every single card and showing you the artwork of every single card is because it may contain some spoilers. But I think I'll just put like a spoiler warning in the video, because I love the battle cards, and I really want to run Abomination Vaults, so this is going to be absolutely fantastic. So those were items that were sent to me by Paizo for review. But now I've got some gifts here that I ended up receiving over the holidays, and some really, really cool stuff here. So the first thing I want to show is the biggest and kind of most cumbersome thing, but this is really, really awesome. So this was a gift from my daughter and wife, and what we have here, the packaging, the box that it was in, kind of fell apart. Unfortunately, that just happens with some of these things. The glue just didn't take to it, but that's okay because the item itself is perfectly fine, and it's the Hylian Shield. Now this thing is really, really cool. I haven't set it up yet just because I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna have room to do that. This might end up going on the coffee table once I clear that up a little bit. But let's just take the plastic off here. Okay, there we go. So like I said, the packaging got a little bit dinged up, but that's fine. Like, so this is actually really, really cool. It's actually got some pretty good heft to it as well. So it's just the shield, the Hylian Shield. And what I actually like about it is it even has like the metal backing. but it actually has like the paint job on like the leather strap, as well as the wraps around the one that goes on the arm. So that's really, really cool. And again, the detail is pretty awesome. And what we have here is the base. Oof, sorry about that. So here we have the base for the unit, and it actually has lights. It needs to be charged, which I don't have it charged up yet. It has a rechargeable battery in there, so I just need to plug it in. And it looks like USB-C, so I got to find my USB-C cord. But what's really cool is just magnetic. So it just kind of sits there like that, which is really cool. And the yellow little bulbs here on the bottom of the base, they're what actually light up. So this is really, really cool. Legend of Zelda is obviously like my favorite video game franchise of all time. So this thing is really, really awesome. So I'm really happy to have this. I just need to find where I can set it up. So that was the one of the first things that we got here. Again, sorry that's really loud, but we're just gonna just set this aside for now. That should do it. Okay. So I just want to get that out of the way because it was kind of cumbersome to try to work around. But some really cool stuff here as well. So we got some like stocking stuffer stuff here, and one of these are really cool. So these are Hallmark. It might be hard for it to pick up just because it's all red plastic. But these are Hallmark mystery ornaments, and the label obviously is off of them, but they're like blind, prize pack things. But they were WWE related, which is really cool. And so they were random, obviously. So the first one here, and these are like tree ornaments. So I actually had these hanging off of my wife's parents' tree for a bit. The first one that we have here is the Rock, and it even includes like the tribal tattoo there. It also includes the Brahma Bull tattoo on the arm there. It might be hard for it to focus, but it actually includes both of those, which is really, really cool. It's just sort of, I forget what they call it, but the kind of art style, which is fine. I actually really like them. I think it's a really cool concept. So we got that. And then there was another one that was in there as well. And this one is actually also really, really cool because it is the WWE Championship. So again, these were random. I don't know what the rarity is on some of these, but there were some that I was really, there were three that I really wanted to get at least one of. And there was the Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Championship. And, I ended up getting one of them was the Championship, which is really cool. It even includes, like, again, the gold tip on the strap, which is, again, just really, really neat. I actually like this quite a bit. These are really, really cool. And even though we didn't put a tree up at home because we weren't going to be home, I'm still going to be displaying this on my shelf of wrestling DVDs. So really cool stuff there. Either that or I might put it on my other shelf where I've got my mini belts, my Undertaker and John Cena spinner mini belts. So I might put that up there with them as well. So really, really cool stuff. Along with the just the wrestling theme here, we also got a couple of DVDs, which I'm glad that they're still producing DVDs for WWE instead of WWE themselves manufacturing and distributing them. They have outsourced that to Warner Brothers, which I'm totally cool with. But we got two of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. So we've got SummerSlam from 2022. And this was actually a really good show. The match, like the Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch match, was really, really good, especially when you learned that Becky dislocated her shoulder like just a few minutes in and competed for quite a while with a separated shoulder, and it started to look pretty gnarly. You also had like the last man standing match between Brock and Roman, which at first was kind of but it really did end up picking up. So some really, really cool stuff there. And then we also got Extreme Rules 2022, again, which is really awesome because this was the return of Bray Wyatt. The ladder match with Bianca again and Bayley was really, really good. There was the match, the Donnybrook fight with the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium, which was again fantastic. The I Quit match with Edge and Finn Balor, just two really solid pay-per-views. If there's only one other pay-per-view that I really want to add to my collection for 2022, and that would be Clash at the Castle, if for no other reason than for Gunther and Sheamus. But yeah, really awesome stuff. So really happy to have those. All right, so up next, another gift from the holidays. So this was from my sister and nephew, and this is really cool. So this is Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly. It's still sealed. At some point, I do want to take this out and give it a go. I will probably do an unboxing video just going over some of the contents and stuff inside, because I think it'll be kind of cool to look over. So that's something that I might be recording in the next little while as well. But yeah, I had no idea this was a thing. I knew that there was a D&D Clue game that came out back during like the 3.5 days, which I really wish I would have picked up at the time, but I never did get around to it. So yeah, I was really just interested to see what they would do with a Dungeons and Dragons themed Monopoly set. So we do have the red dragon here from the DM screen reincarnated, which is cool. Like, it is a nice looking dragon. It is some really cool art there. And you also have, like, on the bottom, you have got a little circle there with the Tarrasque. You just have the D&D logo there. You've got Demogorgon on that one. And on the back, you actually get to see sort of what we have for the board. So this artwork, I forget exactly what this was. I think it was on one of the, gosh, dang it. There was a softcover book that I had. It's on my shelf. I could go and get it if I really wanted to, but it had this artwork on it. And I like it. You got, again, like the adventurers squaring off against this red dragon who's getting ready to breathe fire. Excuse me. But what's really cool is that you actually have, and I was wondering how they were going to do this, but what you actually have are, instead of like places like Baltic Avenue or Boardwalk or stuff like that, you just have some different D&D creatures. So you got like the two cheapest spots are kobolds and goblins, which makes sense, and then you have things like the Dragon's Lair, which would be like income tax, and then you have the railroads are basically like famous locations. So you got the Tomb of Horrors, you have Undermountain, you've got Castle Ravenloft, and the Tomb of Annihilation. So Serac is getting his double represented here, which is really kind of cool. I do wish that jail would have had a different name. Like, honestly, I think that like jail should have been Undermountain, because Undermountain has been used as a way of disposing of problematic prisoners in Waterdeep. But it's still really cool. You got like just different creatures going around. You got the Beholder, which is awesome. So that's a spot I'm always going to want. And then for the luxury tax, you have a Rust Monster. And then Park Place and Boardwalk are Demogorgon and the Tarrasque. So just really cool stuff. And then you actually have like little pewter pieces with the Halfling Rogue, Human Fighter, Human Wizard, Dwarf Cleric, Tiefling Bard, and Elven Ranger. So just really cool stuff there. And yeah, I can't wait to actually open this up and take a look at all the pieces. Oh, also, I should mention that you've got like encounters and treasure. So you can like, instead of like community chest and chance, it's encounters and treasure. But the money also looks like it represents or recreates some of the different coins. Like you got some stuff from Waterdeep there with the coinage there, and then you got the ampersand, and I don't know exactly what that symbol is. We'd have to have a closer look at it. But yeah, it just looks really cool. So looking forward to diving into that. Now, speaking of something with a red dragon on it, something else which I did not know was a thing that actually existed. Was this micro figurine. So again, this was a gift from my daughter and wife. And yeah, so these are just little tiny figures. I'm going to leave this sealed. I'm not going to be taking it out. I just think it's just way too cool to actually remove from the packaging. But there's like different creatures you can get. So there was the Red Dragon, the Displacer Beast, the Mind Flare, and the Umber Hulk. But yeah, the red dragon, of those ones, the red dragon, actually, they're all monsters that I really like. But I think the red dragon would be the one I want the most, and then the mind flare would be second, the displacer beast, and then finally the umber hulk would be the order. So the one that I would want the most is the one that they actually decided on. But this is really, really cool, and it actually has 2 points of articulation. So you can actually kind of pose it a little bit, which is just really, really cool. I had no idea. First of all, I never even knew that micro figures were a thing. But on top of that, like actual Dungeons and Dragons branded, figures is just really, really cool. So again, you got the red dragon there. It actually does have, I don't know how well it's going to pick up on camera, but the belly of the dragon is actually like, it looks like it's dry brushed with an orange. It's not as bright as it is on the picture there, but there is, you can see a difference in the tone on the dragon's belly versus its wings. And the tip of the dragon's wings also look like they are slightly different colors. So there's a little bit more detail into the painting here than I would have really thought for something like this. And you do have the dragon's eyes glowing yellow there. So really cool stuff. All right, and the last gift item, I'm actually going to save that for a second. So I'm going to break this up a little bit because when we were away visiting my wife's parents, we went out for coffee one day, and whenever we go to that area where the coffee place is, on the way back, there's a game store in like the Mahone Bay area in Nova Scotia, like along the South Shore area, and it's called Lanzelot, Lanz. And it's just it's a game shop that actually thankfully survived like the pandemic, which I was really worried about because it opened up not too long before everything went into like shutdown mode, but they're still around, and it's a small business in a location that's not necessarily thriving for gamers, although it seems to be getting better, which is good. So whenever we go through there, I like to try to pick up something. So in the past, I picked up a couple of like the Star Trek Game Master's Guide book and the Advanced Game Master's Guide and the Advanced Player's Guide. So I picked those up there. I also picked up the Xanathar Mini, which I did a video on not too long ago, and just some other stuff. So I always try to get something. And we were there this time. I decided to pick up the Star Trek Adventures Science Division book. So with Star Trek Adventures, you got the core rules. There are the 4 quadrant books, which I have 3 of. And they also have a source book for each of the 3 divisions. So there's science, and I think the operations is the yellow uniforms, and command would be the red uniforms. And there's actually source books for each of these, and I've had people recommend them to me. So I ended up picking up this one here. This is the only one that they had, but it's fine. So I decided to pick this up and check it out. So it is currently still shrink wrapped, but that's fine. I'll open it up here over the course of the next few days and start flipping through it, and I might end up doing a review video on it because I do want to start talking a little bit more about the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game. It is a system that I really do want to try out, so one of these days I want to get more into it. So I want to start covering a little bit more in video form. So there we go. And then finally, the last thing for the last Christmas gift that I got. This one is actually really cool because, again, I wasn't aware that this was a thing. I don't even know where she got it, but this was a gift from my daughter. And this is campaign dice. So 3 sets of dice. And it is by... Actually, I don't know the company that... Oh, it's by Cardinal, so I never actually heard of them before. Spinmaster.com. But this is actually really, really cool because they are 3 different sets of dice. And they're like just the standard, I think they're like 7 die sets. But they each come with their own dice pouch, which is really neat. And they're actually really cool looking dice. Like a lot of these things, I've seen these sort of like, not this particular set, but I've seen at places like Walmart in the past where they have had some like gaming dice. They've always been just kind of like the flat colors, with each die being a different color, kind of like what was in the old 3rd edition and 3.5 starter sets. And there's nothing wrong with them, but these are actually kind of like got the swirl patterns in them, and they got like the copper sort of metallic numbering, and just the color combinations are really cool because These are, coincidentally, my three favorite colors, all in one box set. So purple, in fact, this dark shade of purple is my favorite color overall. And then green and blue are my next two favorite colors. So this is, again, just really, really cool. I'm going to actually be doing an unboxing video and taking a look at each of these sets of dice and giving you my thoughts on them. But this is just a really cool gift. And I got to say, like, I don't actually own any of these types of patterns. Like, I don't actually own these color combinations. I do have a green set of dice with like the swirl patterns in them, kind of like the metallic swirls. But the numbers had all worn off like almost immediately just from exposure to air, which was really weird. So these ones actually look a lot better than that. So again, really, really cool stuff. So those were some of the items that I either received as gifts, received as review copies, or just some things that I, ended up picking up on my own over the course of the holiday season, which is, again, some really, really awesome stuff here. It all means, the gifts mean the absolute world to me. There's some really cool stuff. So I just want to take a moment to thank my sister and nephew, my wife and my daughter for the really cool stuff that they gave here. It does mean a lot to me. So with that, I do want to talk a little bit about my plans for at least the immediate future when it comes to the videos I'm going to be working on over the course of the next week or so, next couple of weeks. So one of the videos that I ended up pre-recording, and the last video that went live as of the time I'm recording this video, was finally getting back into the Through the Ages series on the Ranger class. So I want to prioritize finishing that series. There's only two more editions that I want to go through for the Ranger class with D&D 5th edition and Pathfinder 2nd edition. So I'm going to be working on those videos sometime within the next day or so from the moment I'm recording this. Also, I want to do a separate video just ranking each of the classes that I've discussed in that series in order of like my preference for them or my desire to play that version of the Ranger class. So those are three videos that I will be working on, and by the end of January, essentially, I want to finish that series up and then move on to the next one, which at the time I'm recording this, and the time that this is going live, there is a poll up on my community tab on my channel here to vote on what the next class is that I should cover. I think the options were like the base 4 classes of the cleric, the fighter, the thief/rogue, and the wizard, as well as the paladin, because you can have 5 options. So I thought I'd throw that one in there as well. I probably won't do one for the druid because I do remember doing a video on the 5th edition druid when 5th edition sort of first came out, and in that video I did go over like some of the different editions of D&D and how the druid operated there. So I don't think that's one that I'm going to really be all that inclined to add on to those types of things, at least until I've done every other class. Then I can always revisit it. But those are things that I want to focus on. I will be recording an unboxing and review video of these campaign dice, because I think these are really, really cool, as well as an unboxing of the D&D Monopoly set. And also, I will be doing a review video of the Blade Runner Game Master Game Runner screen. So they Free League had sent me the starter set, the core rulebook, and the Game Runner screen. So I'm going to be showing the Game Runner screen here in an upcoming video as well, and probably like the Abomination Vaults card set. I do need to also do my review video and just demonstration video of the Relics deck for Pathfinder 2nd edition as well. So yeah, got quite a bit of stuff that I'm going to be working on. I also want to get back into my Dragon's Horde a series of videos, because we're starting to get to the point where I can start doing the dungeon magazines alongside of it. And those are video series that I really, really like, but I'm not used to talking this much because it's been a few weeks since I've had to do it, so I am rapidly losing my voice. I think that's it for me tonight, but I do want to take just a quick moment to thank everyone for their amazing and wonderful support over the holidays, over the last like 8 years, almost 9 years that I've been doing this, which is absolutely insane and crazy, and it really means the world to me. Whenever somebody takes, even a second out of their day to click on something that I've done, It really does mean a lot to me, more than people may even understand or realize. But I just want to thank you for that. It really, like I said, it absolutely means the world to me, and I'm looking forward to working on some more stuff over the next little while. I'll also be working on starting to read through the Bloodlords Adventure Path, try to have that review video out again by the end of the month. And there might be some other stuff that I try to work on as well. But yeah, again, thank you all so very, very much. It really means the world to me, and I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.